And the two kind of words, natural and mindfulness. I'll share a little around each of those words. Natural. I like I like the idea that we're naturals at something. We have a we talk about first and second nature. First nature is sort of instinctive within us, and then something second nature is something we can just take to really easily. We find it's almost as if we've always been able to do that. We talk about natural singers and natural dancers and natural mathematicians or natural scientists. People they have it's in their nature to already be that. I also like the understanding that we're all unique. I love the fact that we're all unique, that nobody's got a thumbprint like mine and never will have, never has. Nobody's wired their brain the same way I have through all my experiences and my imagination and creativity. So we're all unique in that way. And so we all have, our natural selves are not the same. So I don't like to define it as, I say what it could be, what natural mindfulness could be. And to me, it's something that comes to you naturally. It's something that you don't have to try to do. It's natural, which means it's connected to nature. But of course, we're nature. So therefore, we're natural as well. And everything we do is natural. And this is sometimes quite difficult for people to sort of understand that, even though what we're doing with the world is kind of, it's natural in terms of it's natural beings that are doing it. So in some way, it's not it's not unnatural. It might feel unnatural, but it's part of what's happening. Even when, human beings do terrible things, it is a part of our nature. There's an instinctive predatory part of us that's built into our, the deepest parts of our brain, the oldest parts of our brain, which are very instinctive and reactive. But we're much more than that, and we have much more to our nature in that respect. So I love this idea of natural means that we're being true. It's something that comes easily to us. You don't have to be taught it. You don't have to somebody else tell you how to do it. You can just do it. And the second bit, mindfulness, is I see mindfulness is the opposite of mindlessness. And people that are mindless, I often come across two types of mindless people. Some of the people are the ones I was talking about earlier when I was talking about my childhood. If I said I'd found something that was beautiful, they'd harm it. There was something in them that wanted to, maybe it was to do it to in some ways affect me. So they weren't really trying to harm that. They were harming that because they knew it would affect me. They knew I liked it. So there was almost like a mindless and a lack of awareness, a lack of empathy, maybe a lack of consciousness. I call it now nature consciousness. That was just very low. Their level of nature consciousness was very low. Maybe not even germinating just yet, but the seed. I believe the seed's in everybody, but some of us have got a much more flourishing part to that. So there was that, almost purposeful mindlessness, and then there's unconscious mindlessness, where we just go about our business without even thinking. I used to get very annoyed at people that threw litter in the countryside here and just didn't think anything of just throwing the rest of their meal out of the window into the countryside. And I used to get very annoyed about it. And in fact, the more mindful I got, kind of the more annoyed at how mindless everybody else was, which wasn't great. But so to me, it's this idea of there are people that just mindless automatically, and people that are mindless sometimes purposefully with a bad intention. And so mindfulness is the opposite of that. It's the antidote to mindlessness, and it's really awarefulness. I think it's John Kabat-Zinn talks about awarefulness is probably a much better word than mindfulness.